Hi, just goofing around. Anyways, welcome back to Chapter 6, Episode 3 of Dirty Numbers by Cayer. That's me. I'm a real author. I have also published books. I showed you my last one, Lights, Camera, Dissatisfaction. That was my first one published. This is my last one published, No Fire Escape in Hell. You gotta read it. Really, it's another one that's funny, but that's for you to decide. And then I have two more that's in my cupboard, waiting for a publisher to discover. But anyhow, let's go back into the book that we're reading right now, Dirty Numbers, Chapter 6, Episode 3. With every call, my heart sunk. Jimmy was avoiding me. That was all there was to it. It was almost 9 p.m., and I knew I blew it. The next call only added to my weariness, one of those damned overseas calls. To make matters worse, the guy, who found it necessary to ejaculate in Beijing as well as hometown Boston, had an extra request, one I despised. "Can you have the phone charges added to my bill?" he asked. That meant he was probably on a business trip and didn't want the accountants at his job to discover this receipt. That meant extra paperwork, just so I could aid in his sorry phone sex habit. I placed the call with Colette Cindy. Let her deal with the operator. We were ordered to give her the majority of the calls anyway. She was the fuck firm's favorite. Pretty well any call was okay with her. And I suspected she often did calls she shouldn't be doing. I mean, there are actual laws about things you can talk about, aren't there? Colette wasn't happy. "China," she complained, "and get the charges? Are you kidding me? Can't you give this call to somebody else?" "Sorry, you're the only one I got," I said, the usual line of blarney. But then my vile mood kicked in. I continued. "Besides, you're not allowed to turn down calls." "Ha! Pathetic underdog operator puts Miss High and Mighty in her place." Without a second's rest, another phone began to shrill. "Yeah, hello, can I help you?" I shortened my greeting. "Hi, it's Susan, alias Sarah," the company's lamest phone mate said. "I think I'll sign on for a while. Is it busy?" I hated the way she always signed on, as if I needed a constant reminder of her stage name. Maybe she attributed the scarcity of work to the fact that I might have 8 Susans working for me and forgot she was the world-famous Sarah. And I loathed the fact that I constantly had to lie to her. For once I avoided it. "Well, what do you think, Susan?" "Probably slow. It's always slow, unless you work the all-night shift," she deduced. That's what she thought. In real life, from about 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., I had almost all the phone mates earning a living. "But I'll only be staying on till midnight or so." "Oh, then you may get a call or two," I boosted her ego. "Probably won't be buying a Porsche anytime soon, though." "Oh, it's not like I need the money," Susan corrected me. "I just do it for something to do. After work, I come home. I have nothing going on. I'm bored. This is like my little hobby." Some hobby, I thought, passing on your brand of boredom to others. I could not count how many complaints we'd received over her, over her dullness as a sex object. If a guy's erection wilted, that was a serious offense. I couldn't understand why Harold kept her around. Maybe she was his mother, who knows? The phone rang, so I told Susan I'd call her, later, and went to line number 5. "Oh, please be my honey." "Hello," I said hopefully. "Can I help you?" Yes, I have a fantasy. I was wondering if one of your ladies could fulfill it, a voice asked reasonably. I'm sure we can help you, I answered. I have a pooping in my pants fantasy. Do you have a girl who'll talk about that? Sure, I replied, mentally filing my nails. You do? A pooping in the pants fantasy. No problem. Do you want to place an order? He hung up. Maybe he had to use the latrine. The next caller was no better. Do you have somebody with acne? A young voice asked. Look, let's not waste any time, I ordered. Are you even old enough to be placing this call? I'm 24, he answered, but I'm not good looking. I know I wouldn't stand a chance with one of those beautiful models. Give me a fat one or an ugly one. Dude, I enlightened him. It's a phone call. You're not going to meet these girls. Tell them you're drop-dead gorgeous. That would be lying, he said disapprovingly, making me feel even more lousy. I don't like to start relationships off on the wrong foot. Maybe I'll call around. He hung up, and I knew I'd probably be getting another call from him in 10 minutes. Yep, my future looked rosy. Hello, can I help you? I ended up shouting into the phone. There was a loud humming in the background. Yeah, hi, a voice shouted back. You hear this? I hear something, I shouted back. What is that noise? It's my vacuum, the man victoriously cried. I got it sucking my cock. Lucky you, I praised him. You found someone. Surmising that he wasn't going to be placing a call, I went to the next line. It was Colette, finished with her overseas sex overture. Done with that guy, she said, sounding rather miserable. She gave me the phone charges so I could add it to his visa amount. Wow, China's not cheap, I noted. China does things a whole lot differently, she said. I guess he'd come already and hung up, but I didn't know. So I was faking this big masturbation scene, and when I stopped my moaning for a second, I hear this lady saying, "Hello, hello, I have your charges." The operator was listening for who knows how long. Well, don't beat yourself up too much, I said. She probably didn't understand it, being Chinese and all. Uppity Colette was pissed, though. I think moaning sounds the same in both languages, Jessie, she said, bitingly. Yes, this dirty diva was looking for a fight. And she sure came to the right place. Bring it on, bitch. I took a deep breath, only to waste it on, gotta go, there's the phone. Sayonara. I don't know if that's Chinese or not, but I knew that was from some Asian land, and so take that, Colette. Hello, can I help you? Can I pull your pants down and lick your pussy? Why not? I agreed wholeheartedly. I've got herpes, I've got VD, I've got frickin' scurvy down there, but sure, lick away. I saved him the trouble and disconnected our call and glared at the next one lighting up. Finally, a customer who worked out. He was a new client, so I had to ask if he had a preference. Yes, I want someone older, with a crusty build-up. Jessie wept. Scene. The phones were buzzing. I had most of my girls on calls. There were credit card slips to be filled out. But I was in a totally numb state. I simply went through the motions. With my hand cradling my head, I picked up the next line. Hi, it's Carla. Done with David. The phone immediately rang, and I asked Carla to hold. Hi, a ragged voice cut in on my opening line. It's David again. Get Lily to call me back, pronto. Right away, David, hang tight, I automatically said. I'm hanging on so tight the blood vessels are bulging. Save it for Lily, David, I interjected. She'll call you right back. I went back to Carla/Lily. Hey, guess who that call was? David, she stated. Oh, God, he can call up to 10 times a night. I need some time to study. Carla had started work on the same day as I. We were both such innocents. She was the single mother of a new baby, and that situation hadn't changed. However, since we'd started less than a year ago, she had managed to get her life together. Her mom moved in. She massively improved at her job, and Grandma loved to take care of the baby, so Carla went back to school. She was one busy gal, what with the baby, studies, and sex to take care of. How's that going anyhow? I asked. Let David's penis explode. I didn't care. Awesome. One day I'm going to be a great chef. Just you watch, Jessie, she predicted. But tonight, I have to make a mayonnaise from scratch. I present it tomorrow morning. One day you might be working 5-star restaurants, I mused. Then you'll never have to make these calls again. Oh, I don't know, she replied. I would probably just still do it for fun. It's such easy money. Yes, she sounded like life was opening many doors for her, and she was hopeful and excited. Life was good. On the other hand, my life chose to spiral downwards, spiraling so fast and hard, I was boring a hole straight to Hades. Well, if David requests you 10 times tonight, you're going in for some good cash, I told Carla. So call him. He's such a masochist, sighed Carla/Lily. I'd rather be whipping eggs. As soon as I'd hung up, 3 lines began to ring at once. Oh, leave it alone, people. Take a walk. Make a cake. Pet your dog. Just forget you even have genitals. I didn't even look at which line I picked up as I gave a dejected greeting. A voice came back to me speaking very levelly. If you hang up, I swear I will never speak to you again. Simply by reflex, I almost hung up. But I seemed to recognize that voice. He continued, I need to talk to you now. It can't wait, and I don't care about your job. Hey, I know that voice. It was Jimmy. Suddenly, my body sprang to life as I jumped up and I held the phone to my mouth with both hands. Where have you been? I've been calling you all night. Why didn't you answer? Why aren't you home? Again, with the fishwife attitude. Yeah, the phone jack pulled out, Jimmy admitted. But that's not why I'm calling. Whatever, Jimmy, I said, using a phrase that meant nothing at all. I've been waiting all night to talk to you, and you're obviously avoiding me. Jimmy sighed. Jessie, sometimes you make it so hard to love you. Oh yeah. Jimmy had some breaking up to do. I tried to avert it before he broke my heart. I know. I've been so awful lately. I'm sorry. It's this job. It's making me crazy. Well, Jess, tonight, maybe I did something crazy, Jimmy began. My heart simply stopped beating as I prepared for the worst. But before I tell you what I did, could you do something about those phones? I hadn't even registered that all the lines were going hell-bent for leather. Feeling a sense of rebellion, knowing I was doing this for the second time in one night. Hell, was I trying to get fired? I told Jimmy to hang on. I was going to put everybody on hold. However, once all lines were engaged with the hold button, I realized I had not taken care to note of which line I had originally answered, the one with Jimmy. I had to go back to 3 calls. Hi, it's Linda. Hold, Linda. Hey, baby, you like it up the... Hold, please. Yes, this is Bubba. I've used you guys. Hold, Bubba. Of unimportant people. Oh, I desperately seeked my man. On the 4th try. Jimmy, is that you? I found him. Mr. Right. And I knew I was about to become the ex-Mrs. Right. Yeah, I'm still here, Jimmy said in that voice that could still excite me. Can we talk for a couple minutes? Jimmy, all the calls are on hold, I stated. I don't care what the boss says. This is important. We are important. I don't want to lose you. What the hell are you talking about? Jimmy asked. You said you were thinking about us. Yeah, I wish I got to finish what I was saying, but you keep hanging up on me, he reminisced. I went out for a walk in Kensington Market, and I was thinking of our life together. I was thinking how the last while you haven't been the girl I used to know. And seeing as how I was about to interrupt, he raised his voice. I know it's your job, but I remembered when you had a dream. Oh, yeah, the dream, the big dream. Gee, what was it again? Oh, that's right, to open up my own unique fabric shop. With the amount of overtime and extra shifts I had been putting in, there was a sizable amount in my bank account. But I just didn't have the energy to pursue it, let alone dream about it anymore. I said, a little bitterly, I know I had a dream, but maybe that was just a bunch of baloney. I'd probably suck at that, just like I do at everything in my life right now. Oh boy, then maybe I did the wrong thing then. Jimmy sounded worried. What did you do? He had me worried. I still suspected him of cheating. Okay, I went to Kensington, right? And just as I'm thinking about this shop we used to talk about, I see a guy putting a sign in a window. It says, store to sublease. So he paused. This was like a cliffhanger episode. So I prodded. So I talked to the guy. He's got to go back to Korea. He can't break the lease, but he's allowed to sublet. It's cheap. He paused, but I wasn't saying a word, so he went on. Jess, I took a look at it. It's perfect. You couldn't ask for a better store for your shop. It'll never last long in Kensington, I told him before he got his hopes up. I bet if we go tomorrow, it'll be gone already. It is gone already, Jimmy said. I couldn't reach you. You wouldn't talk to me, and I had to make a decision. I rented it, Jessie. Was I crazy? I swear. The office became filled with fluffy white clouds and visible rays of sunshine. I finally sat back down and said with a steady voice, You mean I can quit this job? Your choice, Jimmy advised. Your fancy fabric store or the illustrious job you have now. Count on Jimmy to rescue me. For some unknown reason, I found it impossible to make a sensible, wise decision to leave this sorry excuse of a job. I'm quitting. Hallelujah. Seriously, I added, so God would truly know I meant it. Oh, Jimmy, thank you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you too, Jess, he said. Sweeter words never spoken. I'll see you when you get home. You better get back to work. Before I took the 5 other calls off hold, I did a happy dance and then said a quick and real prayer to God, thanking Him for letting me finally catch a break. Then I went to caller number 1. "Thanks for holding," I said enthusiastically. "How can I help you?" "I came 5 minutes ago," a sad voice said. "I just thought I should let you know." From the sublime to the ridiculous. Scene. I had to get in touch with Harold immediately. There was only about an hour left in my shift, but the thought of my new store now seemed to take precedence. I was going to join networking groups. I was going to contact auction houses, attend yard sales, visit Craigslist, anything I could do to find my precious antique fabrics, buttons, bows. Oh yes, Jessie was getting her mojo back. The one thing I wasn't ever again going to do was listen to some stranger talk filthy to me. A file card attached to the wall in red tape listed Harold's contact numbers. One was the line to the sex shop, but of course you can only count on reaching him there on payday. The second number was for a pager, and that was to be used in caps, underlined twice, 3 exclamation points after, only in emergency. Heaven forbid we should break Harold's concentration while he's counting his daily $1 million earnings. Or maybe he had even shadier businesses on the side. Between calls, I tried to somewhat compose what I was going to tell Harold. I would be strong. Tell him I quit. That's it. I'm out of here. See you never. But suddenly a thought struck me. What if he doesn't get the page? What if he's at a movie, at the theater, or playing Screwing Gabrielle? I grabbed the phone quickly and punched out his numbers. As another line rang, I quickly punched in the numbers to our fine establishment. "Hello, can I help you?" I yelled into the phone. "Yeah, baby," said Austin Powers. "Are you the girl in the ad?" "No, sir, I'm just the operator." And then a thrill went through me. That is until 11 p.m. rolls around. Then I'm free. Free! Maybe too much information, but Austin didn't seem to have heard. "Do you do the calls?" the guy asked. "No, I'm just the operator, I told you," I said again, not bothering to enhance it further this time. "Good, because I don't want to talk to you," my non-admirer flat out informed me. But he wasn't going to bust my bubble. Not tonight. "Well, I don't want to talk to you either," I said like a grade 2 kid. "So there." I hung up. Something told me he was probably a good customer, but I ask you, did I care? The phone rang again, and annoyed, I answered with a rude edge to my voice. Man, this constant phone ringing was a bother. I had lists to make, a dream to develop. Work was just a nuisance now. And then I realized, what if it were Harold calling me back? Considering the big favor I was about to ask, I should be more professional, allowing me to leave on good terms with the 2-horned, red-faced creature that he was. "Is this erotic talk?" the latest pervert asked. "Sounds more like call your wife and get bitched at talk." "Good one," I granted him. "Sorry, can I help you?" I asked more pleasantly. "Yeah, Steve Shaughnessy, regular customer. Is Tiffany on?" "Yes, she is, Steve," I said, noting she should be finished with her current caller, her 3rd call in a row with the cross-dresser. She was a pro, this electronics store manager with her little girl voice. She could string along these customers, keeping them on the verge. "You'll have a call in a few minutes." Sorry, that was Tiffany he wanted to talk to. And this time I was telling the truth. Grace Tiffany called immediately. Hi, it's been 30 minutes with Lady Lala, she said in that babyish voice, and it's probably going to be 30 minutes more. He should be calling right back. Sheesh, how much more can I talk about women's clothes? And one of the common problems of phone sex presented itself. Well, you got a request waiting here, I told her. It's Steve, and I quickly glanced at his card. You have nipples the size of saucers. Oh, yeah, I remember Steve, Grace said. Well, as hot and bothered as Lady Lala is, she's going to have to wait. I think I actually felt sorry for Lady Lala. Ooh, and that was a first in this business for me. Scene. And now stay tuned because we're going to be coming up with the final chapter of this whole book, the final episode, the final chapter. See you very soon. Goodbye.